put that.
The link on Flock.
Okay. Hey, Divas and Booze, this is Shay, your Love Diva, and I am coming to you live. Now, we're getting ready to go live for an interview on SwagHer, and I wanted you guys to join me because you guys are my loves, and I wanted you to have first row seats to the SwagHer interviews talking about 2020 dating goals. So, here we go. Logging in. Connect the camera.
About that, and actually, there she is. There's Shay. So I'm gonna go ahead on and bring her into the queue and scan her down.
Hey, Shay.
Hey, beauties. How are you?
Yeah, girl, you be with this flower, honey. I told her, I said, baby,
I do not play about this flower.
I know, but it is so cute. It is so
Thank
cute.
you. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Theories and Thoughts.
Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor. I'm so excited.
I'm Anya, and that's fancy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fancy
I
Anya.
we didn't do your intro, but I realized we can kind of stumble with those. So how about you tell the audience who you are? I think you all can always do that a lot better.
Well, hi. I am the one and only Shay, your Love Diva, a certified love transformer. And I help professional women who are stuck in chronic singleitis and too many lonely nights and dating in pain to become irresistible man magnets so they can finally check out of Heartbreak Hotel and break up with their BS Ben and Jerry. So the bottom line is, if you know of anybody who's looking for love in all the wrong places and who needs their picker fix, then send them to me where I teach them how to date in a lane where there is no competition.
And, okay.
But look, I'm already like intrigued. I gotta ask this quickly before we go into things. I know what your question may have been, but where there is no competition, what do you mean by that?
Because when you're in your own lane and you have risen to another standard of knowing who and whose you are, when you know the value you're bringing to the table, when you have healed your stuff, and so you don't have things blocking you from being able to attract love, then you automatically become a magnet for drawing in that person who was created for you, who's been looking for you, and they've been waiting for you to get it together. So there's no competition because they're just waiting for your beautiful self.
Okay. I think I was kind of thinking it's a whole other light out there, but I love that as well. I don't know.
But I do teach you the art of dating so that you do have an advantage, because at the end of the day, when I'm finished working with my clients, then they really don't have any competition. They're definitely a step above the rest when it comes to dating. So.
Come on now.
Okay.
Okay. I like that.
Well, how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for well over a decade, almost 2 decades. I started this journey when I was in college at Florida State. I was always the go-to person when it came to relationships. I never really knew why. It's like Plymouth, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. So with this situation, it landed on me. I found myself constantly attracting dysfunctional relationships with guys who did not see my value. And then when I ended up homeless with a 5-week-old whose father had just walked out of our lives, I made a promise to her that first, she was going to see mommy be loved so that she knows what it looks like. 2, that I was going to break a pattern in our family of women being in abusive, dysfunctional relationships. And 3, I promised to buy her a house with a backyard. And I was able to accomplish all those goals. So what I did was I launched a dating experiment of going on over 100 dates in 3 months. And during that time period, I interviewed thousands of men, women, and couples. And I read hundreds of relationship and human behavior books so that I can figure out, like, what is the secret? What is the secret of attraction? Why do we do the things that we do? What are the things that women do instinctively that turn men off? And how can we have the power to captivate a man, any man we choose, and be able to capture his heart within less than 30 days? And so I documented that in my YouTube videos. And I had, and it's funny because I did the YouTube videos. It's kind of morbid, but I did it just in case something happened to me, knock on wood. And I wanted my daughter to have something that taught her like all the things I learned on this journey. And then I had people emailing me. I had people sending me, messages and asking for help. Women who had just been abused and saying that they're afraid for their life. What should they do? Women talking about how they loved a man so bad, but how he continues to cheat on her and what should she do? And so the more and more I got these emails, I started answering them. I started helping people. And then I started creating a system for replicating what I was able to accomplish with being able to manifest love and capture a man's heart. And then here I am today.
Wow. So, Anya, look, Anya, I'm trying to give you an opportunity.
I know you're not. No,
She's like, I have so many questions.
you come back at me for last week, because last week I was like,
but here you are, because I do have questions though.
Okay.
I have questions too, honey.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
For a while now. So my thing is, are you married?
Very much so.
How long?
I have been married. All right. So with my husband, the what had happened was he was my childhood sweetheart in high school. We met when we were 14 years old. And here's the thing about dysfunction. The thing about dysfunction, when subconsciously you don't believe that you deserve any better, when subconsciously you're attracting the dysfunctional relationships because that's what you witnessed growing up. You witnessed daddy abusing mommy, or you witnessed mommy constantly attracting guys who couldn't commit, then you go out there and you replicate it. So even though I had a great guy, because we stayed in contact throughout college, and it's funny because he was in the Air Force and I was in college, and then he came to get me because he wanted to marry me, but I was with somebody else who was abusive. And I couldn't see him, And so we lost contact for several years, and then we reconnected in 2011. And we were friends, but I still couldn't see him. Until I did my own healing, I couldn't see him. And then one day, God said to me, as clear as you and I are talking, God was like, "That's your husband." And I'm like, God, I know you're never wrong, but this time you're absolutely wrong. So we're going to have a conversation. So after having that argument with God, I pulled over on the side of the road and I sent him a text because, he's always been my best friend. And I said, "You are my best friend and I love you and I never want anything to happen to our friendship." And I pressed send. And as soon as I pressed send, I got a text back from him saying the same exact thing. And we've been together ever since.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I was asking that because so many times I know women that I talk to that are married, they have been together, and I'm like, you don't understand dating, because I'm 38.
Right.
And I'm like, you don't understand dating, no kids. At the age of 38, you don't get it. Do people ask you that? Are they like, you don't understand my story. You don't get what I'm going through right now.
So here's the thing, it's funny because I've been blessed to go through what I did, because when I started this journey, I was a single mother, right? I was a single mother of 2 kids. And when back in the day, I was helping people even back then before I got married. And then people would be like, "Well, you're not married, so you can't tell me anything." And then now that I'm married, they're like, "Well, you're married. You don't understand what I'm going through." But the bottom line is, so it's like a double-edged sword. But the bottom line is that I've been in the valley. I've been through what a lot of women who are struggling with manifesting love have been through, are going through, because I remember the lonely nights. I remember that aching in my heart of wanting somebody to love me, of feeling like, am I good enough? Like, am I worthy to really be loved? Are there any good men that are left on this planet that want to have a relationship? So I went through that. And because I went through so many different things, then I can relate and I can be more effective at helping people to manifest love.
But she's knowledgeable.
Right.
Go ahead, Nancy.
So I can relate.
So, the dating goals, I guess going into that.
Yes.
Would you say the goals are the same as standards, or can you break that down a little bit? Just a little.
All right. So standards are when you have a standard of what you expect and how you expect to be treated. That's more standards. Goals are setting goals of what you want to accomplish. For instance, if you want to be able to manifest love, there are certain steps that you have to be able to take. So when we say goals, there are 5 different steps or goals that you need to establish in order to get to the end point of manifesting not just a man or not just a relationship, but a good man and a healthy relationship. So I've been able to kind of create like a game plan or a blueprint for helping people to be able to accomplish that goal. So do you want me to go through each one of them? Is that what you're asking? Oh, okay. So step 1, get you together. And people are always saying that. They're always like, well, you need to get it together, and you need to heal, and you need to do this and all these things you need to do to that insinuate something's wrong with you. But the fact of the matter is there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are not broken whatsoever. It's just that because events have happened in your life, it created belief systems. It created thought processes that have formed our subconscious mind. And we make 90% of our decisions and choices based on our subconscious mind. So if you don't heal that, if you don't rewrite those programs and messages, then you keep being drawn back to the same guy with a different face and the same dramatic love experiences. So it's important that you heal first. Second, you must become what you want to attract, working on becoming your authentic self. If you show up in the dating world as this hurt woman who ex cheated on her and you haven't been able to get past that and you think all men cheat, then you're going to attract somebody else who's going to prove you right. So making sure that who you are is whole and ready to manifest what you're asking for. And then the third step, being able to utilize the laws of attraction and align with your soulmate. How to be able to expect and demand that your soulmate manifests into your life. And there's certain steps that you got to take in order to do that. And then we have dating, learning how to date, learning what is the art of dating. Did you know that there is a method to seduction? That there's a method to building rapport with somebody and getting a guy to crave you and want to ask you out for a second, third, fourth, and fifth date, and even a commitment. In my research, when I was interviewing guys, they knew immediately when a woman was the one, or they knew at least within the first month if she was the one. So if somebody's dragging you out for years and they still haven't proposed, then they are wasting your time as your ovaries go hard and boiled, because they are waiting for that one that sets their heart on fire. But you can learn how to be that one, and you hold the power. Because at the end of the day, ladies, they chase, you choose. So you are the one that have the power to choose who you want to be that one. And with that power comes responsibility. Because if you're choosing the wrong one, then that leads to my 5th goal, relationship. You can't make a cake out of crap. You just can't. You have to have the proper ingredients. So I don't care how good your intentions are. If you have a guy who doesn't have good intentions and he doesn't have the right stuff that qualifies him to be a good husband, then I'm sorry, he's not going to make a good quality husband. It's not going to be a good quality relationship. And you're going to find yourself right back at square one.
Wow. See, here's the thing. I tell people that. So I have girlfriends that are like, how do you get guys? How every time you meet somebody, they take you out to dinner? And I'm like, because they can't come to my house. And they're like, how do I get them to do that? And I'm like, well, you when they want to see you, well, where are we gonna go? How am I gonna see you? And they're like, but that's hard, and I don't want to turn them off. And I'm like, well, that's not the person for you if you feel like you're gonna be turned off. Then when I talk to guys, I'm like, okay, well, this isn't gonna work. And they're like, why do you feel that way? I'm like, because you know if you're really interested, or if you just wanting to play around, or if you're really looking.
Right.
And people tell me they look at me like I'm nuts, and I say a man knows when he's met who he's ready and willing to be that man for. So thank you for that, because
there's so much. Oh my God, you have it, and there's so much to unpack in what you said, and this can be a great learning moment for a lot of people. First thing is you just describe standards. Okay, you set a standard. Like, if you're going to go out with me, and if you're going to have the opportunity to be in my presence, then you need to take me out to dinner. That's the first thing that you set up. The second thing is that you're not dating to be chosen. You're dating, doing the choosing. Like, ladies, you're the one with the power. And if you step back and you're like, I'm not going on this date to try to prove why I'm worthy. I'm going on a date to see if he's worthy of me, to see if I like him, to see if he's a nice person, to see how he treats the waiter, to see if we have chemistry, if we can have good conversation. I'm the one in the driver's seat. And it doesn't matter if he likes me or not, because you're just looking for that one. That's it. Your responsibility is to become and expect. Once you become and expect, then trust and believe he's going to come to you. He's going to see you. And when the right one shows up, there's nothing you can do to keep him from getting you. Nothing. He will move heaven and hell. So if he's not moving heaven and hell, and then later on I'll describe the biochemical process in that, because I don't just talk about relationships. A lot of coaches out here, they just give advice based on what they believe. But I talk about the science of attraction, combining it with the law of attraction and the art of dating that makes sense on why you move the way you move in the dating world. So at the end of the day, if a guy's not pursuing you, if he's disappearing on you, if he's not calling you, if he's not making you clear that you're the one that he wants to be with consistently over a period of time, then boo, that he hasn't had the biochemical process occur within him, and you're not his one. And that's perfectly fine, because the name of the game is, as soon as you recognize that, to keep it moving. As soon as you recognize, just like what you said, as soon as you recognize that you're not his one, you have him kick rocks and you move on to the next one. And that is why you should be dating at least 3 guys at a time.
Bam.
Okay, now I have a question about that, because I just don't understand how you kind of can pull that, I guess you say, because I've heard that before. I have tried it, and it's just like, to me, it's just kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm that person that often, like, I don't know, I just kind of skip steps or something. Actually, my therapist kind of did tell me that. I'm like, okay, yeah, you are that person. But I'm curious, like, how do you do that? Not give all of your attention to just one person in that sense.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. If you understand the phases of a relationship, then you will appreciate the art of going on dates with 3 people. And when you say dating is just an interviewing process for manifesting love. That's it. You shouldn't be having sex or jumping into bed with or catching strong feelings for with people that you're just dating. So here are the phases. And if we understand what's happening biochemically, then it makes sense why we should move in a certain way. So when you meet somebody, the first phase is attraction. And in the attraction phase, he's basically saying, I am willing to have sex with you. You are saying, I would let you have sex with me. Maybe not right now, but I would. Like, you're attractive enough to me for me to do that. That's a natural mating ritual. The second phase is the courting phase. He's doing the work to have sex with you. And so here's the thing, what they've been able to determine. They've been able to show that when a man meets a woman at first who he wants to have sex with, the part of his brain that sees an object lights up. So you're not even a person to him at that point. You're an object that he wants to have sex with. So if you have sex with him in the beginning during the attraction phase or in the courting phase, then you're going to get discarded like the thing that he's already projecting subconsciously that you are. So as he's pursuing you during the courting phase, he's starting to get to know you. He's starting to develop a friendship with you. He's starting to like you. You're meeting his 6 needs, or at least 4 of the 6 needs. When you meet at least 4 of the 6 needs that I teach my clients, you have an addiction. That means there's a strong attraction and he needs you in his life because you're fulfilling a need for him. So when he goes through the third phase, which is the pull away phase, which all men go through, when you go through that phase where it seems like it's hot and heavy and there's a lot of chemistry and it seems like everything's going wonderful, and then all of a sudden he just ghosts you and he just stops calling or he stops texting. Well, a lot of women mess this up because they have to text him or they want to send a long email, a dissertation on why you the good woman and you the one and you missing out on an opportunity. But the reason why he's pulling away is because men have to. You see, in the 2 hemispheres of our brain, for a woman, it's connected. There's connective tissue that connects it so that we can do multiple things at the same time. But for a man, they don't have that. So in order to determine how they feel about you, they have to pull away, evaluate, do they miss you? Evaluate what are they thinking about you? And then when they spend time away from you, they're like, oh God, like I miss her. Like I really like her. That's when they determine. And then if you notice when they pull away and come back, they're bigger, better, stronger than before. And then that's when you enter the fourth phase, commitment. Because he doesn't want to lose you. Now, from the attraction phase, when he sees you in courting, leading up to the commitment phase, his testosterone and serotonin are decreasing, which means that he's becoming more nurturing like a woman, that he is forming a bond with you. When you have low serotonin, those are people that have OCD that constantly think about you. So he's thinking about you. He's becoming obsessed with you in a way, in a healthy way. And so he wants to be with you. Now, if he isn't trying to be with you, then that means that biochemical process has not happened and he's just not feeling you enough if he's not trying to commit to you. After the commitment phase, engagement, and then marriage. If something isn't growing, it's dying. If he's not proposing, then that biochemical process isn't happening. And trust me, a man knows. And I don't care what he says about not wanting to be committed and not wanting to mess things up and how he's afraid of commitment and all this crap. Because trust and believe, when he meets that one that sets his heart off, all that goes out the window. And we know those kind of men that break up and then 3 months later they're married to somebody else because they know.
What would you say is the number one reason women are single?
Oh my goodness. The number one reason why women are single is because A, they don't know who they are. They don't know the value that they're bringing to the table. They don't know that they're a diva, divine, intelligent, vivacious, and alluring. They have no clue. And so because they feel less than about themselves, they attract those experiences, or they stay single to avoid the hurt, because staying single keeps them safe. It's kind of like a boat. If it stays in the harbor, it doesn't have to worry about getting shipwrecked if it's out at sea. But a boat wasn't created to stay at harbor. It was created to go out into the ocean. And it's just like with us. We were created to love and to be loved. But the second point is that if you don't know how to maneuver in the dating world, how to select the right person, then it can be a daunting experience. It can be something that brings up a whole lot of fear. And for a lot of women, especially professional women who don't like failing, they don't like being wrong, and they feel that if a relationship doesn't work, then here's a thing that hits at their self-esteem because they were wrong at something. They don't want to take that chance. So it's easier for them to be single, supposedly, than to put themselves out there. The easiest thing to do is to first commit to yourself that you deserve love and that you are worthy. Two, admit what you don't know. Like if you don't know how to find love, which we weren't born with that, and a lot of our mothers didn't teach us that. And so if you don't know, then you figure it out. You get that information. You get somebody who can help hold your hand and guide you through the process. You don't bump around adding more bruises to the wound. You heal them, learn, and move on. Does that answer the question?
It sure did.
Awesome.
You're just confirming everything I be trying to tell people. That's all. You know,
Mhm.
I thought you was gonna say people are afraid to be by themselves, but you said they're afraid to fail. So I get that too.
Right. And people are, because you asked the question like, what is the number one reason why people are single? Well, at the end of the day, it's the wall. Because if you want love, it's not that you're not worthy, it's not that anything's wrong with you. It's just that you have things that are blocking you from being able to manifest love. And the same wall that you use to protect yourself from love or from hurt is the same wall that keeps out love. So it's important that you can identify why the wall's there. What is it protecting you from? Or what is your perception that is protecting you from? And work on knocking those walls down so that you're attracting the right guy. Because let me tell you something. I have been through so much. I married a married man. I have been in multiple abusive relationships. I have been cheated on. I have been ghosted. I have been mistreated in every way you can imagine. But the love that I have with my husband is worth all of that all day, every day. Once I was able to heal me and get whole, then I was able to attract a whole man. Once I got to the point where I was like, God, have your will, have your will. And then follow the steps that my coach took me through. And once I followed my own advice as well, then I was able to manifest him. And that's a possibility for every woman. You look like you're just like blown away. What are you thinking?
I'm kind of like I always kind of my mind goes everywhere. So with a lot of things that you said, I was like, okay, I don't know. I kind of have buts. Look, we might have to like do email Q&A or something. But do you have a book? Also, I wanted to know that I didn't see anything about one, but I was just curious.
I do have a book, and that it just happens to be sitting here. So I wrote this book called The Science of Attracting Love.
Mhm.
And in the book, A through Z, I basically walk you through how to manifest love using neurolinguistic programming, speaking to your subconscious mind, not just telling you all the things that you already know, but showing you the how to get there. Also using my relationship experiences as well as my clients' experiences in order to teach women how to become whole, manifest love, and co-create a healthy relationship. But I'm really curious what was in your mind? Like what are your questions?
Well, for one, when you mentioned that about like why women are single or so many women are single, and I was just like, of course, as you're answering, I'm like, okay, well, is that me? I'm like, no, none of that stuff really felt like me. A lot of things didn't quite feel like me, but I do feel like I know who I am. I'm very confident, about like as far as my value and my worth and so on.
Right.
But in some ways, and I think though you mentioned the fact like as far as being whole, and I was just kind of thinking to myself, well, maybe I know that there are things still within my life that I need to work on, but for the most part, like all the mental and kind of like the emotional things I kind of have, but I just didn't feel like as far as when you said it was the fear, because I was like, well, it's not so much the fear of meeting people and and having a bad experience, but just like it's more so like are there quality people out there? But I think again, I think that when you said that about the being whole, then that made me think like the reason why I'm not attracting anyone is because well, I'm not attracting anyone that I find to be of my standards or worthy is because there's still more work that I need to be doing. I think that's kind of like even as I'm talking to you, it's kind of like
I love it. Like
yeah.
I love it. We just witnessed
Because I
you
know it's
process.
not just like yeah, because I know it's not like a matter of being afraid. I don't think I'm afraid. I don't think I don't know, but yeah, I think I learned a lot tonight.
And here's the thing, like I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with you. It's not like you're sitting here like, oh my God, I'm in fear or afraid. But just think about it. Like, think back to your childhood. What did relationships represent to you? What was your first heartbreak like? How much did it really impact you? Like, we'll be surprised how much those things are stuck in our subconscious mind because a lot of us aren't even aware of the thoughts. We don't even stop to pay attention. Like, how do I really feel about men? Do I even feel like there are good men? Do I feel like there's only a little bit of good men and that the majority of men are bad guys? Or what am I lying to myself about? Like I was talking to a young lady the other day and she was talking about why am I always attracting liars? I said, well, what are you lying to yourself about? Because we attract who we are. And so it doesn't mean that you're a liar. It could mean that you lie about what kind of woman you are, that you're lying about the values that you're bringing to the table, that you don't recognize all of that you are. And so I honestly believe that life always reflects back to us what's going on internally. And that's a blessing because that information we can use as feedback to make the changes to allow us to manifest what we want. So I loved watching you process that. That was awesome.
Okay, I'm glad you're not offended. I just be like, yeah. I just,
Mm-mm.
in my mind, it was just, it didn't sit well with me. So I'm so glad that we got to clear it up. And then also with me processing it at the same time, that was a really cool experience. I don't think we've ever had that before. But I think Anya, you were
Awesome.
trying to add something too.
Mm-mm.
Say something.
The problem is.
It's so funny because, just speaking on that really quick, it happens all the time. There's never a client that I'm sitting down with and I say, the reason why you're still single is because there's something within you that's keeping you single. 100% of the time, no, it's not. It's not me. Like, I'm ready. I'm not scared. I'm this and that. But then when we go further, and then I'm like, okay, well, tell me about this. Tell me about that. And then 10 minutes later they're crying and they're like, God, I didn't even know that was there. Like, I didn't even realize, which is why I incorporate positive mind meditations in my practice so that we can work on the subconscious mind, because that's where the majority of the stuff blocking love is.
Well, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what my issue is. I'm more of the professional woman who has the wall up, that's kind of scared to get hurt, but kind of open it up for certain things. And Fancy always tell me, you need a better quality man. I think one guy was like, I should be dating somebody like him. And she's like, I'm happy that you realize that. And I'm like, yeah, but then it's like,
it's that dichotomy, right? It's like, on the one hand, you want love because that's our human need. Every single person needs love. But then on the other hand, you're like, but dang, I don't want to get hurt. And
I don't feel like dealing with his BS or
right.
what's gonna be, what is it gonna be that he's gonna come with and stuff like that. But I am whole. I know who I am. I'm not afraid of being by myself. I'm one that date and date often. One of my girlfriends been told me that she was like date and date often. So I do that. I don't do any more dating sites. I had my run with Facebook came here recently, and I was like, I'm just doing this just to play around, and people out there know sir. So I mean, I think it's just that wall of being hurt at this time. I'm like 38, and then I meet guys that don't want kids, and I want somebody who wants the door open.
So let me ask you this, right? So if you were going fishing, what do you want to catch? If you were going fishing, right, you want to catch fish. Now, we all know fish eat worms and things like that, but what if we put a shoe at the end of the hook and try to catch fish? Are we going to catch fish? No, we're not going to catch anything. And so it's the same thing when it comes to dating. Like, what are you putting on your hook? Because if you put fear on your hook, I promise you're going to attract fear. If you're putting your perceptions of, I don't feel like dealing with the drama, then that's what you're going to attract. But I always tell people, like, the most important part you can do when it comes to dating, before you enter the dating world, like, you spend the most time on you. You spend the most time on just uncovering, like, lifting up the sheet to say, hey, what? I didn't even know that was there. Let me heal that. Let me work on that. And then let me show up my whole awesome, beautiful, vivacious self. Because then when you do that, you don't have to do all this other stuff. You'll see the men will start coming to you, and the quality of men will start coming to you. If a jerk shows up in your life, be thankful, because he's giving feedback, and you can say to yourself, like, God, what am I sending out there? And then you can tweak it. Yeah.
What does that fancy?
I really do be doing that. Like when just meeting people and dating and whatever, I'll look at them, and then, when I see things that I don't like, and I'll oftentimes ask myself, like, hey, why was this person brought into my life? And I look at them, I'm really big on the whole reflection aspect of things. So I'll try to see, like, what is it within me that might be attracting that type of person. So I totally get that. I agree with that.
Okay, I have one other question, sorry. And I know we have to be wrapping up soon. Okay, so people so I meet guys, and this is what actually happens. It's like, they're like, you are so amazing, you're so awesome, because I do a plethora of things. And they're like, you're so this, that, and the other. And then when they get to know me and they see it and I'm in motion, that it's not just talk, it's really I'm doing these things, it's like, oh, I gotta work on myself. And I'm like, but you knew I was this woman before.
So do I have your permission? Because part of what I do is I'm a seer too, so I can see things, and I can always see in women what is causing them to have certain patterns of experiences. So do I have your permission to tell you?
Yeah, my permission.
So here's the thing. Like, you really are a dynamic woman, but you're also a giver. So when you fall hard, and you give everything. Like, you're the type that would be cooking. You're the type that would be cleaning. You will ride for your man. You will show up at his events. You will be there 110%. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. And
then he's like, whoa, like, I'm overwhelmed, because I don't even think I deserve her, because he's not there. He's not, you're further. Because when you fall, you're selective now. Now you done broke some heart yourself, but right?
Definitely.
Yes. But you're not attracted to those guys. You're attracted to the ones that require a bit of a chase. You're a make it happen kind of woman. And you also have that strong type A personality. So, with that strong type A personality, that's very sexy too, because you have that feminine energy that's going on. However, you're driving too much. And because you're driving too much, that whole biochemical process in a man that I told you about doesn't have a chance to mature and blossom. And because he doesn't have a chance to mature and blossom, he in his mind knows you're a good woman, but he just can't get there. So I would encourage you to sit back as the queen that you are and let him do the work without feeling like you have to return the favor. Just understanding that you're lucky to be in my presence. I am going to send you positive energy. I'm going to be fun when you're around me, but you're going to have to show up at the table. And until you commit to me, then I'm going to keep exploring my options. I'm not going to fall for anybody who isn't 3 times more interested in me. And I'm going to work on me so that I start to fall for the nice guys, because you tend to fall for the other kind of guys. Right? And so
Nancy, don't put me over there.
I know I'm not telling you it all, right? I'm gonna keep some other stuff that I see to myself. But like being able to get to the point, because I always tell women, marry a nice guy and get yourself to the point where you are attracted to the nice guy, because there's a lot of nice guys that can still turn us on, but it's something in us that just 2 centimeters. You're 2 centimeters literally from getting married. I can tell by looking at a woman if she radiates wife energy or not. Somebody like you, it wouldn't take me much work to do to tweak you so that you can be able to align with manifest and not just a husband, but a great husband. But there's some women, they don't have, their wife energy is way off. They're way off. You're not far. Just pull back a little bit and sit in your feminine energy and let him do the work. Men love that. I'm telling you. They like football, basketball, sports, the possibility of losing. They like that for a reason. They don't want to have it too easy. They want to have to work for what they're going to have, and then they can put you up as the queen and prize that you are. Thank you.
Can I ask the question for one of our viewers? They wanted to know, what if you run out of patience and don't want to be bothered with the process of getting to know someone? I know who I am and whom I belong. I just don't have the patience.
The patience for what?
The process.
Getting to know someone, they said. Yeah.
So wait, all right, so I'm just trying to clarify. So basically, are you saying that, oh, I see the chat over here. How nice. So basically, is she saying that she wants to get from point A, the attraction phase, to come on, get it. Do you like me or do you not like me? I don't have time for you to be trying to figure it out. We are the fly.
It seems like.
Right. So here's the thing. That impatience is what leads to you getting hurt. And that's also the reason why you should be interviewing more than one option, because dating should be a process of fun that not only puts yourself out there, but also allows you to get to know yourself, because you realize what you like and what you don't like when you're dating. There's some things that you supposedly had on your list at first that when you date somebody, you're like, oh no, let me scratch this off. Like, I don't want that. Like, he's crazy and I couldn't spend the rest of my life with that. But if you can give yourself the opportunity to become friends with this person, I'm telling you, it will deepen your experience of love with that person once it matures into a relationship. So it's worth it. It's worth you giving yourself time in the relationship time to mature. I'm just loving this chat over here.
I'm not seeing the comments. Oh wow. What
And very little. I see a lot. Sometimes we see them after the fact.
Right.
I wanted to be sharing them, and I saw something there, but they weren't popping up at first. Okay, so I'm picking up on the screen. But did you have anything else you wanted to leave us with, Shay, before you close out?
Oh, thank you. So I encourage everybody who's listening to me to go to either your Android or to the Apple app and download my Cup of Love app so that you can stay in the vibration of manifesting love. Every day it pushes out an affirmation, keep reminding you and keeping you in the vibration of manifesting love. As well, it has a bunch of information on how to be able to attract and manifest your soulmate. That's the first thing. Second, I'm having a free webinar on the 19th at 7:30. go on my website at yourlovediva.com. And that's like a short website. My main website also link is there. But go and register because we only have 35 seats. And so secure your spot. And then on March the 4th is going to be my next Manifest Love Inner Circle class. And this class is powerful. This class guarantees that you will be empowered to be able to manifest love within 60 days. You're going to be given all the tools and information that you need in order to align with your soulmate, heal your stuff, become who you need to become so that you can manifest that relationship that you always dream to have. So,
what was the app again? My Cup of Love?
It's Cup of Love.
Oh, Cup of Love. I was trying to get it so I can show. I was trying to get it so I can have it and to show.
That's right. Yes, have it pop up. And call me, honey. We're going to have you married by next year. That's it. Cup of Love.
Don't say that because I just told somebody I'm going to have a baby and be married by next year. I'm serious, Shay. I'm calling you.
What do you think I'm saying that for? I see it. Oh, you're gonna be married soon. Y'all mark this day down. She's gonna be married soon. We're gonna work on you. You was kind of quiet, but we gonna get you together too, honey.
I got my own stuff to get together before I can be worried about getting married again. Yeah.
It starts
though in time right. Because I really want the book because I love the chemical. Like you mentioned, some scientific facts. I like that. You know, right. That was just a lot more in depth. Oftentimes, we talk about these affirmations and we talk about so, but like, let me really, like get to the real meat and potatoes of it. And I think that's so important. Yeah. So I really enjoyed the conversation.
I did too, and I'm like, we need to have you back because I feel like we didn't get to everything. I really enjoyed it, like really. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much, and don't forget to follow my Instagram and Facebook at Shay Love Diva. And so,
and I have the site up as well as the Instagram, so you all can definitely follow her. But thank you again, Shay, for
thank you.
Look, I had logged in.
You logged in and everything. She's already in the app. Yes.
My husband, had babies.
Yes, honey. We touching and agreeing on that one. All right, beauties. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for inviting me. It has been a pleasure and honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I took down notes on what you said, and we'll also post them also. So thank you.
Thank you so much. In the chat, Army. Bye.
Bye.
All right, divas. How was that? Leave your heart emoji because I didn't see you. A lot of you guys stayed there. Oh, look at y'all. Oh, thank you. Dropping these golden gems. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for your confirmation. I began reading your book. Yes, divas, here is the book. I'm so excited. Like, I just want to see you guys join me on it's free. It's a free webinar, and I'm coming live on the 19th. And I'm going to be giving so much information away for free because I really want to help you. My goal is to help 1 million women by 2030 to be able to manifest their soulmate.
Tumblers, because that is the best way to be, ladies.
Oh, wait a minute. I still hear them. Okay, but yes, ladies, so we're going to help you to manifest. So join me on the 19th, and I so appreciate your support and love. I love y'all so much. And remember, you are divine, you are beautiful, and you are worthy of all the love God has in store for you. I'm sending you so much love. Bye, divas and boos.